There are things that we know and things that we don't know, but there are also things we don't know that we don't know. That is why today we are going to look at things that we don't know the answer to, even if you thought you did already. Stay tuned to the end when we will show you a mystery surrounding an everyday object. If this is your first time visiting the things, then what would be really great is if you could give this video a like and hit the subscribe button. Today, we are going to tell you 10 questions no one knows the answer to. Why do cats purr? If you are a cat owner, then you'll know just how much they can purr. And although we think that it's to do with how happy they are, we don't actually know 100% why they purr. It's also been noticed that cats can sometimes purr when they are in pain or when they are injured. Cat expert Elizabeth von Muggenthaler has suggested that the cat's purr is part of a natural healing mechanism. But we also don't know how cats purr. They certainly don't have an organ that makes them purr. The most popular theory says that cats' vocal muscles vibrate while it's breathing in and out, causing a purring sound, but no one knows for sure. What causes static electricity? Sometimes we think we know how or why something happens, but then someone investigates it and all the previous ideas turn out to be wrong. That is true of static electricity. If you don't know what that is, it's when two things rub together and cause a small electric spark to be given off. For years, scientists thought that this was because friction removed the electrons from the atoms in one of the objects and transferred them to the other object. However, in 2011, physicist Bartosz Grzybowski of Northwestern University, USA, published a research paper that said that both positive and negative electrons were transferred. In other words, the research meant that what we thought we knew about static electricity was wrong. Why is ice slippery? With new discoveries, they can often take what we thought we once knew and turn it on its head. This can be true when something seems obvious. For instance, in 1859, the great scientist Michael Faraday suggested that a thin layer of liquid water covers ice, even at the coldest temperatures, making it slippery. This sounded logical, and probably because Faraday was a genius, they went along with it. But while his claims were true, they don't tell the whole story. The pressure of a human body on ice isn't enough to create that layer of liquid, which is what had been thought before. So we still don't entirely know why it is that ice is slippery. How does turbulence work? If you've ever flown on an airplane, then the chances are you've experienced turbulence. It's pretty uncomfortable, but it isn't actually dangerous. But that's just the form of turbulence that we all know by the name. It's actually something that happens all the time. It happens when we mix milk and coffee, when a boat moves through water, and when smoke goes through the air. All turbulence is disruption of a chaotic, non-predictable nature. But the thing is, no one actually knows how or why turbulence, in its purest form, exists. The problem about how to create a model of turbulence has baffled scientists for centuries, and it has been described as the most important unsolved question in physics. Why do we have hypnic jerks? Have you ever been falling asleep and then felt like you were falling, which causes you to wake up suddenly? The chances are that you have. That odd sensation is called hypnic jerk, and it's something without any cause that we know of. There are plenty of ideas as to why we have them. Scientists have argued that they are caused by drinking caffeine or by anxiety or by being busy during the evening. The only problem with those ideas is that hypnotic jerks happen to people who don't drink caffeine, who live stress-free lives, and to relax in the hours leading up to bedtime. So we still don't know why hypnic jerks happen. How does gravity work? In science, there are things that are discovered and things that are theorized. If something is discovered, we know for sure that it's a thing. But if it's theorized, technically it might not exist. Now we know that gravity exists, but we don't actually know why it exists. It is one of the 4 fundamental forces of nature alongside strong interaction, weak interaction, and electromagnetism. But it's perhaps the most mysterious of all of them. Scientists aren't able to observe it in a lab. They have to work out how it works by looking at how it affects planets and solar systems. It's believed that gravity is caused by particles called gravitons. The only problem is that no one has actually discovered them yet. Why do we dream? Something that happens to everyone every night is that we dream. Scientists have found out when we dream, but they haven't found out why. If you want to know how, most people's dreams take place in the deepest part of sleep, known as rapid eye movement, or REM sleep. However, the jury is still out about why we dream. Some people believe that dreams are just the brain calming itself down, but other people believe that dreams help to process information. Their theory is that dreaming helps the brain sort out what it needs to keep and what it needs to throw away. Others say dreams are the subconscious revealing its fears and desires, but no one knows for sure. What is the universe made of? We know what makes up 5% of the universe. All those things are made from atoms, the tiny particles that combine to make elements, which make up things. But strangely, scientists aren't so sure about the remaining 95%. They have some idea about what some of it is, but not all of it. Research indicates that a large chunk of that 95% is something called dark matter, and another part is dark energy. Dark energy is the thing that means that our universe is continually expanding, while dark matter is the stuff that is impervious to light. We think. As it is, even the best scientists in the world don't know what they're made of. Not yet, anyway. How did life begin? In 1953, the scientists Stanley Miller and Harold Urey carried out an experiment that showed that organic, living material could, in the right conditions, come from inorganic, inanimate material. The two men argued that back when the Earth was first formed, the atmosphere of our planet was a lot like this. This idea was known as the primordial soup theory, and it was well accepted because the experiment was convincing. However, what we don't know is what exactly triggered the creation of life on Earth. Some scientists argue that it happened naturally, with the process started by lightning strikes, but the rival argument is that it was actually triggered by a series of meteor strikes. But whatever happened, we are here now. Why do we still use the QWERTY keyboard? Here's something that you probably see every day, a computer keyboard. Now, as you may already know, it's the same layout as a typewriter keyboard. Now, when typewriters were first invented in the 19th century, they were slow. Letters had to be spaced apart from each other so the keys wouldn't jam. However, that is no longer relevant to computers and touchscreens. So why do we use the QWERTY layout? There isn't really a reason, it's just that that's how most keyboards are. By the way, did you know that in parts of the French-speaking world, the top line of the keyboard is AZERTYIOUP? Anyway, we'd like to know what questions that no one knows the answer to have we missed out. Tell us in the comments. And that's it for our 10 questions no one knows the answer to. If you liked it, then check out 10 insane life hacks you should dare to try. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.